Good tips, Mike. I also want to thank you for a video you posted where you were sharing tips people gave you. It was one tip specifically that helped me to finally unlock the muscle up, and it was imagining you're double elbowing someone behind you. It really helped me with the transition at the top. Thank you so much for your comment, Rise and Grind Fitness. And I remember this tip, although I don't remember who gave it. If you that gave this tip is watching, please comment down below and I will demonstrate it once again. I think this can be a good angle to show this technique tip from. The tip is, when you're pulling up, imagining you're elbowing someone behind your back, okay? So someone is standing around here and you want to drive your elbows and hit him in the face basically. And that will actually help you drive through the transition. You're keeping the tension throughout, and this will help you to get that half muscle up, rest your chest on the bar, or do the whole thing and then push up. If you haven't tried that tip, you can try it out. Tell me what you think in the comments. And thank you for reminding me about that tip again. Thanks for another great video, Mike. Since your last video, I've done 2 workouts with the black band, and today I made it through the first 3 sets of 5 unbroken. Congratulations, man. I know you have talked about descending with control so that your second and later reps looks just like the first one. One thing that has helped for me is making sure my arms are fully extended and straight before start pulling up. Besides being proper form, I think it's actually easier if you get a full stretch before pulling up rather than having slightly bent elbows. Yeah, I completely agree, and that is such a great tip. So I will just demonstrate what he means. So I often say that to be able to clean up your second and third rep of the muscle up, you want your consecutive reps to look like your first rep. So you want to keep the exact same technique. And what he said in the comment is he finds it easier to come down to fully straight arms for the second rep. Basically he does his first muscle up, and then when he does the second one, he comes down to completely straight arms. Completely straight, and then pulls up. And this is such great advice because it will actually make your second muscle up and your third muscle up look more or less the same as your first one, because you're getting in the flow of the muscle up. If you're not coming down to fully straight arms and you're just coming down to here, your second muscle up will be a little bit off because you didn't use that technique for your first muscle up. Yeah, great advice. I haven't showed you my general warm-up for some time, so I just thought that I would show you what I do. It's usually just like a quick 5-minute thing. So I start with like a trigger point release or a blood flow thing to my biceps, triceps, forearms and shoulders. This is one of my favorites, just to warm up my arms and to feel if there's some soreness or some area that I should spend a little bit more time on warming up before the muscle ups. And if I'm at a gym, I usually use the Smith bar to do this. I usually find that my shoulders are a little bit sore, like front of the shoulders, and a little bit back of the shoulders as well. So I usually spend a little bit more time there. And after that, I move on to my shoulder rotation exercise. So I just basically loop the red band on the bar and grab the band like this. And then just do shoulder rotations. I think this is a great way of warming up the lats, getting a good stretch in, as well as the rotator cuff. So I just do a couple of reps, maybe 10 or 15 on each side. And this is also one of my favorites for just warming up the shoulders. Focusing on pushing the shoulders up, getting a good stretch in my shoulders and biceps, spending around like 20-30 seconds here. Great tips, Mike, and good example of a transitioning from a deload week back into your working week. If the mind forgets the deload, it won't be long before you get a reminder from the body. Yeah, that is so true, Devin, and that is what I was starting to get, like small signals from the body saying like, hey, I want a little break. So yeah, great advice. So I think the general warm-up took me about 5 minutes. And it's time spent well, just 5 minutes, and it will improve my workout a lot, prevent any unnecessary injuries from happening. Of course, you can't be 100% sure you won't get injured, but I try to do my best to injury prevent as much as I can. And after the general warm-up, I continue with warming up with the purple band to wake my body up, my explosiveness up. So the first rep always feels so rusty to me. It feels like I just woken up. And a few more reps with the purple band will do the trick, as well as some coffee. So the second rep felt much better than the first. So usually it just takes a couple of reps to wake the body up and get the blood flowing, basically. Okay, that's it for the purple band. Moving on to the black band, continuing with the warm-up. What band are you working on right now? Are you working with the green, the purple, the black, the red, body weight? Please tell me in the comments below. All right, first rep with the black band. So a big aspect for me when warming up is to assess my body, feel how hard I should push during the workout. So my right bicep feel a little bit tired, feel a little bit sore. So when moving on to bodyweight muscle ups, I will assess how far I will push it today. That's also a great thing with warming up progressively. Even if you had a plan for the workout, oftentimes I change that plan according to how I feel in the warm-up. So let's see what I will do today. Someone said squeezing the glutes, like the abs and legs, will help a lot. When you're squeezing your glutes throughout the muscle up, you will be pulling up in more of a straight line. Some people find that easier and some people find it harder. Some people find the look of that muscle up much nicer because you're pulling in much more of a straight line, so to speak. Let me show you. Okay, so now I will just be focusing on squeezing my glutes throughout the muscle up. So if you noticed, my body was more in a straight line, but for me it makes the muscle up more chunky in a way. But try that tip and tell me what you think of it in the comments. Did it help you? All right guys, one sip of coffee and then my first bodyweight muscle up of the day. So if you watched my last video, I spoke a lot about the half muscle up technique, which is a great way to learn the muscle up, to get a cleaner muscle up. And if your goal is the weighted muscle ups in the future, the half muscle up is a great technique for that as well. I don't know if you have watched the weighted muscle up competitions. So you're actually allowed to rest the chest on the bar for a brief moment and then push up into the dip. But if you just want to do bodyweight muscle ups, you can just do them in one fluid motion. You don't really have to rest your chest on the bar, so to speak. Continuing with the warm up, my second bodyweight muscle up. Okay guys, using the ankle weights today as well. 2 kilos are on. So let's go through the technique quickly. So I'll just use a small swing forward, like this, and I have a completely relaxed core, and as I'm about to swing back, I'll go from a relaxed core to an arch. That will help you transition over the bar, and then I will pull the bar towards me and throwing my chest over the bar. That's it. And once you have the technique dialed in, you will notice that the muscle up will be more and more effortless. So when I'm working with ankle weights, I like to do 2 to 3 kilo jumps until I reach my heaviest muscle up and then reduce the weight a little bit from there. So right now I jumped from 2 kilos to 4 kilos for one muscle up. One important thing to understand about the muscle up technique is you don't have to use brute force to get over the bar. You need explosive strength, but you also need to understand the technique, because when you get the technique locked in, so to speak, the muscle ups will become so much easier for you. I mean, don't get me wrong, if you have the brute force to just pull yourself over the bar and push up, merely using your arms, and you're not thinking so much about the technique, but even then, if you want to make progress towards weighted muscle ups, it's always a good thing to get the technique dialed in and pairing that with explosive strength. That is the key. I now made a jump from 4 kilos to 6 kilos. I'm gonna pull up with a relaxed core. I'm gonna go from an arch to hollow to make it easier to transition. And I'm gonna focus on throwing my chest over the bar or pulling the bar to my waist. Different cues works for different people. But the important thing is to get that chest over the bar, because once you're here, you know, you have the muscle up. All right, so 1 rep with 6 kilo. So I'll do 1 more rep with 6 kilos, and I'll talk about the technique a little bit more. You don't want to use a swing like this. As a beginner, you don't want to use a swing like this. Do something in between those, something like this. And generally speaking, you don't want to grip the bar too wide like this, or you don't want to grip it too narrow like this. We are often most powerful shoulder width apart or a little bit outside. And for this rep, I would like you to pay attention on how I'm going from a relaxed core into a hollow body position and how I am driving my chest over the bar, just to get my chest over the bar as far as I can. That will create an efficient bar path, and you will land in a good position to push up into the dip. Okay, 1 more rep with 6 kilos from this angle. So my right biceps feel a little bit sore today, so I won't push it too hard. So I drop the weights to 4 kilos, and I'm gonna do 2 reps. So if you've seen my videos before, you know I always do a small pyramid in my muscle up workouts. So 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. The first rep of the pyramid is the heaviest, and then I'll reduce the weight but do more reps until I reach the top set of the pyramid, 3 reps, and then I'll go down to 1 rep. This will be the second set of the pyramid, 2 reps with 4 kilos. I drop the weights to 2 kilos. I don't want to push too hard today, so this will be the top set of the pyramid, 3 reps. 1, 2, 3. Set number 4, 2 reps. Last set of the pyramid and last rep. And as always, a bodyweight muscle up to finish off the set.